Awesome. Alrighty. We're back, guys. Welcome back into another episode of Playbook Podcast, episode 17. We're back, guys. Welcome back into another episode, Playbook Podcast, episode 17. Regular episode this time. We have a very, very fun slate for you guys today. As the sports world has slowed down a little bit. No college football playoffs till this weekend, and not that many very great NFL games happening. We have some really fun topics to bring for you today, but of course we're going to open up with some NFL, and we're going to jump right into it, guys, starting off with the Rams at the 49ers. So this was a really important game for both teams. The Rams obviously needed to win here to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Niners needed a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. And shockingly, or unshockingly, if you are someone who doesn't believe in the Niners this year, the Rams did pull out the win 12-6. No touchdowns scored this game. It was a field goal game, but the Rams did what they needed to do. They made it happen. And a very, very costly Brock Purdy turnover kind of ended the season for the Niners. So here, Matthew Stafford, the stats aren't going to be great for this game, guys. 160 yards, no touchdowns. Kyren Williams did have 108 rushing yards. Cooper Kupp was held yardless the entire game. Puka Nacua did add 97 yards for this game, though. So the Rams take the win. The way that the rest of the week shaped up, they are now in the lead in that division. So they are the first seed in that division as of right now. I believe I picked them to win the division earlier in the year, so it kind of took them a long time to get here, but they made it. But my question to you guys is, because we were talking about the Rams last week, right? We said we wouldn't want to be any NFC team playing this team in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like an NFC team's some team's gonna have to play this team, whether it's the Packers, the Lions, the Eagles. One of these teams is gonna have to play this team. And can the Rams do something? Could the Rams make something happen in the playoffs?
I think so. You saw it 3 years ago in that 2021 NFL playoffs, and they came out of nowhere. They were hot. I mean, yeah, Cooper Kupp was the one triple crown at the time, but telling you, man, this is a bad guy in the postseason, man. I mean, I think he's the most underrated quarterback today. I think, Burrow is great. But I think Matthew Stafford for real is an underrated player in the NFL, and put respect on his name, man. That guy is a bad man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, people say he's a bad man. No, this guy might be. He's a better bad man than Aaron Rodgers is. So, I think so. Because at first, when people said the Rams were done this year, I thought they were done after Cooper and Puka got hurt. But tell you what, can you help at the right time? It's going to be crazy for that team to go all the way.
Yeah, definitely.
They're a sleeper team for me.
Yeah, same here for sure. Jaden, going to the other side of the ball. What is this? If you're the Niners, are you second guessing paying Brock Purdy after this last couple game stretch he's had?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, Brock Purdy. I mean, he went to the Super Bowl last year. Had a good season last year. They paid him more money and then he went to bed. Mm-hmm. So I think, they already paid him the money, so it's like there's not a whole lot more that they can do about it, but it's like he's got to step it up. There's no reason he should have played this bad this season. He can't. And, we saw him play with CMC. We said, oh, maybe it's CMC. No, it wasn't CMC. It was just Brock Purdy. He had a fully healthy team like he did last year, and it hurt, and he still played bad.
Yeah.
He showed nothing decent this season. I feel like every week we talk about the Niners, we only really talk about Brock Purdy and how he didn't perform that well. So if I'm the Niners, I'm reconsidering why we paid him this much money.
Yeah, I'm if I'm them, I definitely would go into this offseason thinking about the other options. Not to say he's not a good quarterback. I think he's a solid quarterback. There's obviously quarterbacks worse than him in the league, but if he's going to want the Trevor Lawrence deal, if he's going to want 55 million, north of 55 million, I'm just going to have to be like, man, I'm not sure. I think 40 would be reasonable because it's lower than a lot of quarterbacks. You can't let him set the market though. That's for sure. So if I'm them, I'm definitely worried about that. But yeah, I just they can't win without having the loaded roster. They can't, and they don't have the quarterback that can keep them up, like we saw with the Chiefs when they traded away Tyreek Hill. Everyone thought that Mahomes was going to fall off a cliff, then he wins the Super Bowl. And this year with Josh Allen, they got rid of Stephon Diggs, drafted a rookie wide receiver, and a lot of people were saying, well, the Jets might win that division, or the Dolphins. It's the Dolphins' time. Josh Allen's kept that team afloat regardless of the situation, regardless of the injuries, regardless of the weapons missing. And Dalton Kincaid has missed a lot of time this year too, as well as Dox and Knox. So he's just not on that level. So I don't think you should pay him on that level, right? And I don't think you can give him Jordan Love money. I don't think you can give him even Trevor Lawrence money, because that looks like a pretty bad contract right now. So
yeah,
but,
go ahead. In another situation, I'm kind of disappointed how that one player quit in the middle of the game. Greenlaw got hurt, and he came back after almost a whole year off because he was hurt in the Super Bowl. I'm disappointed how that guy quit on his team, and I tell you what, that might be the last game he ever played as a Niner this year.
Yeah, they were definitely looking at. I think he got suspended for 3 games, but I don't think he's going to be coming back. Let me see. Let me get his name. It's Devondre Campbell. Devondre Campbell is he walked off the field, kind of pulled an AB there, right there. He just didn't take his shirt off and do the peace sign on the way out. So that's the only difference. But yeah, this is just a bad year for the Niners because they're in that situation where they're not bad enough to get a really good pick, and they're not good enough to make the playoffs. So they're going to be stuck with kind of a middle round pick, which you can still get a great player with. But I'm definitely thinking about who the starting quarterback is going into the next season. That's for sure. So, moving on here, we're gonna briefly talk about this game for a little bit. Is the Chiefs Browns? The Chiefs won 21-7. The main reason I think we have this on here is because the Chiefs did not win in the most controversial fashion known to mankind. It was a pretty dominant win. I think it was a lot more of the fact that the Browns are just not very good. They're not. Jameis Winston's not very good.
No.
The roster's not very good. The only bright spot on that roster seemingly right now is Myles Garrett and Jerry Jeudy, and that's kind of it. So overall, finally a decent win for the Chiefs. Does this prove anything to you guys for the Chiefs at all, like whatsoever? I know it was a 3-10 team going into this game, so it's kind of hard to measure. But I mean, and Patrick Mahomes still didn't play well. He 19 of 38, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns, with a 78 rating. Still like not great. So does this game change anything for you guys on the Chiefs?
No. I still believe in Chiefs, still believe in the team. You put anybody as quarterback in that position right now, that team, they're like 2 wins and 11 losses right now, but it's Mahomes. And I don't know, any quarterback besides Tom Brady, I can probably lead a team like this to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't think this is a bad team at all.
It's not a bad team, but it's just that their offensive line sucks. Mahomes got hurt in the middle of the game, and he'll be fine. But name one player in the history of the NFL that can carry his team like that. I mean, Rashid Rice got hurt in the 3rd game of the season. Travis Kelce ain't looking like himself at all. I thought he was returning back a little bit, but he's not looking the same at all. I don't know if it's because of Taylor Swift or he needs to calm down a little bit on that girl, because he knows at the end of the day, he's probably winning his chance of winning the season, probably winning his chances. And well, yeah, I think I'm not worried about Mahomes, man. I'm not. I'm not worried about the Chiefs.
Jaden.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, we asked for the Chiefs to, have a win that, they ran away with, and they did it. So, I mean, I guess we can't complain about that, but I mean, it was the Browns. But,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Trey. I mean, I'm not worried about the Chiefs. Um, I'm not worried about Mahomes. Um, has he played great this season compared to last season? No. He hasn't played bad. I mean, but uh, this win didn't change how I felt about the Chiefs. It doesn't make me feel better about them. It doesn't make me feel like they have a better chance of winning. I just think it was hey, this is the Browns, so we're gonna do this and win. So yeah.
Yeah, I still think I'm a little worried about that offense.
Yeah.
The last time they scored 30 was against the Panthers, and we just saw the Cowboys score 30 on the Panthers, so that's not a very impressive thing. But I don't. I'm still worried about the offense. I really am. I think the tackles are not very good. I think he's got weapons, obviously, but there's something wrong. And now he has a high ankle sprain. He was at practice because they used their evil dark magic to give him a new ankle, but it's still concerning because he's had some issues with some ankle sprains in the past. So a little worrisome there. I'm just worried about the offense overall. I think the defense did what it needed to do. Has had a good stretch since that Bills game where they looked kind of gettable. I guess the Panthers game, the Panthers scored 27 on them. That they looked a little gettable there as well, but they did what they needed to do the last couple weeks versus the Chargers and the Browns, tightening things up a little bit there on defense. But I'm still worried about the offense. But yeah, so.
Yeah.
Moving on here to a team that I'm the complete opposite of, not worried about the offense at all, but worried about the defense. Bills at Lions. The Bills win this game 48-42, the highest scoring game of the year.
Like a college football game.
Pretty much, yeah. Josh Allen follows up his 6 touchdown performance with a 4 touchdown performance. Just goes absolutely ballistic again. 362 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 68 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. I picked the Bills going into this game. A lot of people picked the Lions. The Lions were the hottest team going into this game. They hadn't lost since the Bucs beat them early on in the season. And Josh Allen puts the cape on. He takes the glasses off. He unbuttoned his shirt and he revealed the big old S on his chest. And he just went Superman all over the Lions, quite literally. And wins them the game 48-42. Jared Goff played well too, 494 yards, almost 500 yards, passing 5 touchdowns. But it wasn't enough to keep up with that 14-0 lead the Bills went out to very quickly in the first quarter. So my question to you guys is, after this game, did Josh Allen solidify himself as the NFL's MVP this year?
By far, yeah. Josh Allen, man, he's a bad man, bro. That guy he's amazing. I mean, I've always been a Josh Allen fan. I've always have been. I think Burrow's not better than him at all. I mean, I thought at one point he was, but I really studied both games, and Josh Allen's just a bad man, bro. I've never seen the quarterback go head to head with Mahomes and do what he does against Mahomes. So he's MVP as of right now. I think right now, if he plays in right now Super Bowl again, Bills are going to win this game again against Detroit. I think the only team that can beat the Bills is probably the Chiefs, despite how they're playing this year. But you know what? But with Josh Allen, though, he's MVP. He's a Peyton Manning of this era.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, by far, he's just put on a show the entire season. He, like Nick said, he's Superman. I mean, the Bills are looking scary as a Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the people who had the Lions winning this game personally. And when I saw them running away in the beginning of the game, I was shocked, honestly. But no, I mean, you can't count Josh Allen out at all.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Absolutely not.
I mean, he'll do what it takes to win. Um, but yeah, Josh Allen, if he doesn't get MVP this year, he's robbed.
Yeah. And I kind of want to take this a different direction here a little bit, less about the game and more about some things I was seeing online. So I've seen a lot of people say, yeah, Josh Allen's MVP. And then I've seen a lot of Ravens fans saying, no, it's Lamar. So I was like, okay, I want to look at this completely unbiased, right? I'm just looking at the stats. I just start with the stats and go from there. I'm looking at the stats. So Josh Allen's 3,395 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He has 11 rushing touchdowns tacked on there. He's first in QBR. And then I was looking at Lamar, 3,500 passing yards, 34 passing touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground. So he's got 1 more total touchdown than Josh Allen. So I was like, okay, I think that this would be a really good argument for Ravens fans if Lamar didn't win the MVP that he won last year. And I'm going to tell you why. So last year, every Ravens fan, guess what they're saying this year? Lamar's better stats than Josh. He's got better stats. Guess who had better stats than Lamar Jackson last year? Dak Prescott. By a lot, actually. Look at last year. This is Lamar Jackson last year. 3,678 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He added 5 rushing touchdowns. So 29 total touchdowns. Let's look at Dak Prescott last year. 36 passing touchdowns, 4,500 yards, 9 interceptions. He added 2 rushing touchdowns. So last year, Lamar Jackson wins MVP with pedestrian stats, all things considered. Not incredible by any stretch of the imagination. His 2019 MVP is way better stats, obviously. So what was the argument? Well, the Ravens went 13. The Ravens went 13-4. Well, Dallas went 12-5 last year. It's not like they were that far behind. So this argument that Lamar deserves to be MVP because of the stats is completely invalidated by the award that he won last year.
Mm-hmm.
The voter and the season's not over, and the voters last year told us, oh, well, stats isn't all that matters because Lamar won it with 29 total touchdowns and 3,600 passing yards. It's not like this incredible season he had. Josh Allen his team didn't get Derrick Henry. His team didn't add pieces. They actually lost pieces. They lost Stephon Diggs, right? A lot of people picked the Jets to win that division. A lot of people picked the Dolphins to win that division. And the Ravens, they might not even win their division this year, right? And because of the resurgence of the Steelers are up in that division. So for me, that argument's invalid because last year, if he didn't win that award last year and Dak won it, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But it's the way it happens. And Josh's stats might not be as good in terms of passing touchdowns or whatever. He's got a couple more interceptions. But what he means for his team, what he does for his team, you can't deny it. He has the 2 best wins. You can't – I mean, you look at the wins that Lamar has had this year and compare it to the wins that Josh Allen has had this year. It's just not even – so they lose to the Browns, bad loss. They lose to the Raiders, bad loss. They lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Steelers. They lost to all these good teams they played against. Uh-huh. Josh Allen has done the opposite. What has Josh Allen done? He beat the Chiefs. He beat the Lions. He beat those teams, and you could say, well, the Ravens did beat the Bills, which is very true, but the Bills still have an overall better record, and they have better wins. It's just the way it goes, right? So for me, I disagree that Lamar deserves to be MVP because his stats are better. I just do.
Yeah, Josh Allen ain't turning the ball over like he was. He's protecting the football, and he's not having a diva cry at him like, "Ooh, you don't win the ball, so fortunate to me." You don't have that no more in the sideline no more. He has Amari Cooper. I mean, this guy even before Amari Cooper went there, he was playing his ball out. He's playing his heart out and balling out big time. I agree with you. Lamar Jackson's great, but he ain't no Josh Allen. And top of that, I've never seen Lamar Jackson choke against Mahomes ever. I've seen Mahomes. Actually, let me rephrase that. I've seen Lamar Jackson choke against Mahomes.
You've never seen Josh Allen.
Never has. Him and Joe Burrow and Brady have never choked against Patrick Mahomes. One person that has is Lamar Jackson. He's 0-5 against Mahomes.
So, yeah. And that's kind of another thing too. It's like, well, Lamar's record versus the Chiefs, and I don't think that should really matter in the MVP discussion, but I feel like the Bills have better wins. Josh Allen, especially, these last couple games, he's adding so much to his stock, and they're 11-3. They might not lose another game for the rest of the year. Like it's definitely, in my opinion, Josh Allen. I felt that way for a couple weeks now. I think I called it since the Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs in week 11 that, hey, this guy's the MVP, and they haven't, they lost to the Rams, but Josh Allen was unbelievably good in that game. And none of us blame him for that loss. His team gave up a blocked punt touchdown and they lost by 2. Like, I don't know how we're supposed to blame him for that. So, and he follows it up by beating the hottest team in the NFL. Yeah. And real quickly before we move on, Jaden, I think it's panic button time for the Lions.
Yeah, it is.
I'm getting scared.
They have lost so many people on defense.
And Montgomery's out too.
Montgomery's out. They're getting thin on defense. They're thin in the secondary. I'm really worried about this team in the NFC. I believe that their offense is good enough to hang in there, but I don't know if they can beat the Packers or Eagles in the playoffs anymore.
Not when they're down by this much. Yeah, but as far as their players go, I mean, they've kind of been. I've been a little bit concerned about them recently, just in general. They've kind of been on a slow, downhill. Haven't been playing as well. I don't know if they're just saving their energy for the playoffs or what they're doing, but especially now that they're down people on defense. They don't have David Montgomery, who's been an absolute force for their offense. Yeah, I'm starting to panic a little bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely worried. I don't think this should count against our pick because they got injured, right? So we can play the injury card, but it's true. I saw I forget what show it was. I was just at the gym. I saw it on the screen, so I wasn't really paying attention to the show, but it just showed a list of all the defensive players they lost. It was like 12, 15 names deep of defensive starters that they've lost, or defensive players, like starters and then second stringers. So and then now you add the Montgomery, the kind of the thunder to the lightning of that combo in the backfield. Man, I don't know, Trey. Maybe you read the future when you picked the Packers. I don't know, but
yeah,
I definitely think that the Packers and the team we're about to talk about would probably beat them in the playoffs now. And so let's talk about them. We're going to move on here. We're going to talk about the Steelers playing at the Eagles. Eagles win this game pretty convincingly, 27-13. I know that George Pickens was gone, so that's obviously a really, really big issue for that passing team, that passing scheme, and that Russell Wilson, because that he's their deep threat. But man, this Eagles defense looks really good. Yeah. They look really good. I mean, Trey, I know it's painful as a Cowboys fan, but do you think this Eagles team could make a run to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they can. I think this is probably the best season they ever had since 2022 with the Super Bowl run it had, but probably even better because you have Saquon Barkley. I will admit, I had Steelers winning this game because of the way T.J. Watt, the way defense is playing in Pittsburgh. I was shocked. I really was shocked big time, because
he still had 2 sacks, but
yeah, I mean, I was shocked. They didn't really do the game in the run. They couldn't stop Saquon for $150, bro. I mean, he went over that defense. And Jalen Hurts, is it time to say that he's playing? Is it time to say he's in that elite competition again? Because I can see it now. I mean, he's probably having the same stats as he did last year in 2022. So he could be in that elite conversation again. It wasn't a fluke the year prior to that.
I'm not sure about that. Still, he's still the passing numbers aren't gaudy. He did have a good passing game, very much so. 290 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Devonta Smith coming back helps that a ton. Devonta Smith and AJ Brown both going over 100 yards passing. I think the most impressive thing about the Eagles so far for me, even outside of Saquon and the offense, has been the defense. Man, this defense has really stepped it up. Obviously, Jalen Carter, the Cooper DeJean stepping in and helping that secondary big time, and we know what guys like Reed Blankenship and even the other rookie Quinyon Mitchell, what they mean to the secondary. But this is a tough team, and they are not dealing with the injury bug the Lions are dealing with. So I'm worried. This team could be playing in the NFC title game. This team could be playing in the Super Bowl. Jaden, what do you think?
I agree. I really think it's going to be them or the Lions, but the Eagles have a much better shot at it now. They're healthy and the Lions aren't. So
yeah.
And that's the key. I mean, that's the key going into January, February is being healthy, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And the Eagles have been playing good. You can't say that they've been playing bad. So
yeah.
They have a very good chance at winning over the Lions.
Yeah, and they haven't lost since their bye week. That is 10 straight wins. They won 10 straight times. Right. They close out the season Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. They're gonna go 15-2. They're gonna go. There's just no conceivable way any of those teams. I could see any of those teams beating them. I think they're gonna go 15-2, and I think that might be good enough to get them the first seed in the NFC. Because if you look at if we go to the Lions real quickly and we look at the Lions' remaining schedule, they get Bears, Niners, Vikings. I think those are all 3 winnable as well, but the Vikings are way tougher than any team the Eagles have remaining. I think even the Bears and Niners are tougher than any team the Eagles have remaining. Mm-hmm. Outside of the Commanders, I think the Commanders are better than the Bears and the Niners, but the Vikings are better than all of them, right? And that's going to be a really important game because – and I don't even know because they didn't play each other. The Lions and Eagles did not play each other. So it's going to go down to division record. And if they can close out the Bears and the Vikings, that means they sweep their division because they didn't lose to so they beat the Vikings the first time, they beat the Packers both times. So, but I believe on the other hand of that, if the Eagles win out, they also sweep their division. So it gets really messy. I think then it goes to conference play. But yeah, I was very, very impressed by the Eagles. I've been impressed by them. None of us saw this coming, I don't think, right? I mean, we really didn't. So
I'm not a big Nick Sirianni fan either, but
I still don't even think he's a great coach. I really don't. But the roster's loaded. It's loaded from top to bottom. I don't think Jalen Hurts is as good as some guys, in the top echelon of QBs, but he's not bad, obviously. Saquon Barkley is at worst the second best running back in the league. They have at worst the second best wide receiver unit in the league, and they have at worst the second best defense in the league. It's like kind of hard to deal with that, Mm-hmm. It's definitely hard to deal with that. And they have one of the best offensive lines too. So really good team. They kind of stopped the Steelers' momentum in their tracks, but we'll see what happens in the playoffs, man. We will definitely see. We're going to move on here a little bit to some other news. Over the week, about 6 days ago, Bill Belichick reached a 5-year deal to coach North Carolina. The numbers came in 5 years, $50 million. So I guess the question would be, do you guys think this is the right move for Bill? Do you think he should have tried to stay in the NFL, or do you think him going to, his a college that he has ties to and try on something different? How do you think this is all going to work out for him?
Well, I think it's the right move for Bill Belichick. Here's the deal. I watched the Dynasty on Apple TV. I think everybody saw that Dynasty documentary of the Patriots with Belichick and Brady, Robert Kraft. In my opinion, that's the greatest dynasty of all sports and the history of sports overall. Better than the Bulls in the 90s, better than the Lakers in the 80s. But I think that's a big, shot at the NFL saying, you know what, well, here's what I'm going to do to you now. Back at you. Because now it'll be a little different even in UNC. I'm rooting for the guy. I think he'll build the program really successful. I mean, Mac Brown was out of his time, out of his date. But this is a big shot at Robert Kraft, Roger Goodell, and the whole NFLPA. Because that Dynasty documentary, guys, they made Bill Belichick look like the enemy of it all. Robert Kraft made that whole team. It's not even Tom Brady didn't do it. Brady said, well, I wouldn't have won without Bill. But Robert Kraft took a shot at Bill Belichick in that documentary. Because that documentary, nobody wanted him in the NFL. Nobody wanted him. Jerry Jones didn't want him. I know last year Atlanta had a job opening last year after the season ended. Mm-hmm. He didn't get the job. He's on TV. I mean, I think that he had a little bit humbling experience too. Because being on TV, his personality is more outgoing now. I mean, I like the show with Peyton and Bill Belichick on ESPN Plus. It's a good show. I recommend everybody watching it. He's a football savant, greatest coach of all time. But it's a big shot at the NFL saying, you know what? Back at you, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it's the right move. I really do. He's proven he's the greatest coach in NFL history. No one doubts that. Nobody does. He's got 6 rings, 2 if you want to count when he was a coordinator. So it's be 8 total, but he's got 6 rings as a head coach. He's done everything he needed to do in the NFL. He goes and gets to enjoy some broadcast money and enjoy some time off. And now it's time for a new challenge. His father was a assistant coach in the Tar Heels in the 50s. Yeah. He has ties to this team. And it's not like, so the Tar Heels are a blue blood in college basketball. We all know that. They're one of the greatest basketball programs ever. There's no denying that. But they have never been that in football. And it's not like they couldn't even attract stars. Guys, they had Drake May on the roster 2 years ago. A year ago, they had him on. So it's not like they're lacking the ability to get recruits. They can get recruits. They needed someone spearheading the program who has experience in building football teams, building discipline, building culture. Who more than Bill Belichick? The Patriot way. I mean, we all know about the Patriot way. It made Tom Brady who he is today, and he will be the first one to tell you that how important Bill was in his development as a player. So I think this is really, really cool. I'm really excited to see it. I want to see if he can turn the Tar Heels football into the Tar Heels basketball, which is a blue blood. Make them an ACC powerhouse. They haven't won the ACC since 1980. Yeah. Can they compete? Can they compete in eventually a bigger playoff? That's probably going to happen. We're probably going to get a bigger playoff. Could we see him do that? Could we see a Dion type turnaround for the Tar Heels, right? Or an Indiana Hoosiers turnaround, right? Where they go from not very good one year and then, winning 8+ games the next year. I think it's possible. The team went 6-6.
Yeah.
Right. You add Bill, you add the star power, you get the ability to recruit. I don't know how Bill is as a recruiter, but I know how he is as a coach. This defense is going to be disciplined. I think he can build a good culture, and I'm really excited to see it. I really am. I really am excited to see this.
Same.
Jaden, what do you think? You think Do you think this is a good move for him?
I mean, he's making $50 million.
Yeah, it's going to be like, and he's made a lot of money, and he's going to continue to make a lot of money, and that's not an issue for. He's set what 74, 70. I think he's 70, 72. Yeah. He's got money. He will never have to worry about money for the rest of his life. His kids won't have to worry about the money. The college girl he's dating doesn't have to worry about any money. It's just
man, that's crazy. Yeah, no, but
hey,
she's like 24. I mean, it's just the way she's set for life, bro. I mean, she really is. He's just. That's a little suspect. We don't got to go there, but hey, I think he can do some good things. I think we might see a transfer portal push towards North Carolina. I don't think it's going to be as much as Dion, because Dion brought a bunch of people with him from Jackson State, and obviously Bill can't do that as he wasn't a coach anywhere. Although I do think, like maybe Mac Jones could go back to college or something. I don't know. But no, I really do think that this is going to be good. I'm excited to see it. College football is just so exciting and so much fun, and getting more star power in these teams that aren't blue bloods. Like, this ain't Georgia. This isn't Alabama. This isn't, one of these blue bloods. It's a relatively not very good football program, all things considered,
Well, there's Alabama no more. That team,
I mean, and we've seen what guys like Nick Saban, who I think Bill Belichick and Nick Saban are very, very similar in terms of the way they coach. I don't know how, because Nick Saban was the best recruiter. He could recruit a plastic bag into running routes for him. That's like, I don't know how Bill's going to be able to do for that, but in terms of the offense. Yeah, I mean, we've seen the clips of him in practice screaming at his guys. Bill Belichick will hold him accountable. This team will be held accountable.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, they're going to be scared of the guy.
They're going to have a healthy fear of their head coach, and they're going to play hard for him. So, yeah, I'm excited. I really am.
Same.
I think it's a good move. So, we're going to move on here. We're going to talk a little golf. It's just pretty interesting. So Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, this has kind of been in the works for a while. They have a golf league, right? It's an indoor golf league. It's the TGL. And it's going to start January 7th. So I guess Trey, you're the biggest Tiger Woods fan ever. Obviously, we all know this, but like, do you think that this is good for the game of golf? Do you think this is going to add? Do you think people will care about this?
Oh, they will care. This is Tiger Woods. This is Eldrick Tiger Woods. He is the face of golf. He is golf overall. I mean, this guy made an impact on the PGA Tour. I think this will help him set up his afterlife of the PGA Tour, because I know he will say it. There's no way. He said it too. He'll never go on a senior tour. He never will. He said it. I've heard it before. He never will do it. It's either the PGA Tour or he's had his golf league as well. I think because he wants to make it to like indoors a little bit, because golf's an outside league. It's outside, and it could be in the cold, the rain, the hot. Trust me, we've all played in the cold, and then especially in 23-degree weather in 2020, that was wild. But I think this will be the successful. He's Tiger Woods. I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be a big draw to it. It's kind of like it'll be different, but I think it'll help him. It'll help him play a little bit more than he usually can. He can't walk no more. I mean, this guy has freaking 18 injuries in his life. He's had 2 torn Achilles in his prime. He freaking tore his back out 5 times, back surgery. Top of that, he has in 2008, when he went to the Navy schools to train with them, he has ACL out of place. And this guy's just like, I don't know how this guy's still even walking, to be honest with you, but this guy's gonna help. This probably help him a lot more to play, be prepared for the 4 majors next year coming up. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Jaden, what do you think?
I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of his next step in, what he's doing. He's not really playing that much anymore. So it's kind of something that, he can do that, keeps him still part of the game and the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Because, with, like Trey was saying, with the conditions that his body is in, it's hard for him to play consistently. So
I think this will help it. I think this really will help it.
I think, if nothing else, we get to see more of Tiger, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's actually really interesting the way it's going to work. It seems like they're trying to make it completely different from the golf we're used to, right? We're used to. I personally, golf is one of my favorite sports ever, and I love watching golf. Like, I know a lot of people turn golf on to take a nap on their couch. I love watching golf, but I get how if you're not interested in the sport, it could be really hard to watch an 8-hour program because in tournaments, people, they take their time. They're really trying to focus on good shots. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. But it's really awesome to watch for people who appreciate it. But what this is doing, these matches are only going to be 2 hours long. So they're going to be 2 hours long. It's going to be more fast paced. They're going to throw in shot clocks. There's going to be all sorts of different things. And the studios are unbelievable. Tiger unveiled a little bit of them. He was chipping around doing some stuff in one of their indoor facilities, and it's incredible. But I think that this is going to really help people connect with the golfers that are playing on these teams, because it's going to be more. And if you guys there was actually a match tonight. I didn't see who won. I quit watching to get ready for this, but there was a match: Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy versus Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, and stuff like that more focuses on the golfers rather than the golf, right? They have their earpieces in, they're making fun of Chuck, they're calling him fat and doing all sorts of stuff, right? That's all they do. They're talking in the earpieces and stuff, and they're saying how bad Charles Barkley is at golf and all this. So it's going to be more like that, where it's where they're talking to these players and the players are having a good time. It's going to be fast paced. So I think it's going to be easier for the casual golf fan to watch than actual golf rounds. You could get me, Trey, and Jaden in a room. We could watch all 4 rounds of a golf tournament and not complain at all.
No,
but
I still watch tournaments to this day.
Yeah, and I love watching golf, but this is going to be really good for those who want to get into it or people who want to the casual. And I think it's going to be fun. So January 7th, the New York Golf Club, there's teams too, which is cool. There's teams of golfers. So New York Golf Club, which has Xander Schauffele and Ricky Fowler, 2 huge names, are going up against the Bay Golf Club, which is Ludwig Oberg, TTU alum, I love him, and Wyndham Clark on January 7th. And the week later, Tiger Woods' team, the Jupiter Links Golf Club, will face the Los Angeles Golf Club a week later for the second match. I don't know if he's going to play, because the way they said is 3 out of the 4 golfers will play each time, and then they'll rotate. I don't know if he's going to play on that one, but I'm really excited to watch. I'm going to watch. I mean,
I'm definitely going to watch it. And
more
that,
golf for me,
Yeah, knowing that, the biggest thing too is it's on the ESPN. It's prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm going to be tuning into it. I love Rory. Tiger, Rory, my 2 of my favorite golfers of all time. And now that's Nick's favorite golfer, Rory McIlroy, of all time. So it'll be cool, man. You never know. There could be celebrities coming on. On TV in your life.
I mean, it's the biggest golf names in the tour. I mean, it's like Trey said, it's going to be on ESPN. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. It's going to be work in tandem with the FedEx Cup. And so the top 4 teams are going to compete in a semifinal in March 17th through 18th. And the winners of those 2 will compete in the SoFi Cup, because SoFi is the big sponsor. and a best of 3 finals on March 24th through 25th. So it's just going to be a really cool, interesting way. I hope that they work all the kinks out, because the courses, it's like an indoor simulation course, and then with crowds and stuff, and I think it's going to be cool. It seems cool to me. I mean, maybe it's just the golf nut in me, and I'm just excited to watch more golf, but I think it's going to help the casual fans enjoy it more, So,
Yeah.
Scotty and Rory won the showdown, by the way. Shocker. Yeah, I know we're all surprised.
Wow.
That's wild.
I can't believe that the best golfer in the world and like the 5th best golfer in the world beat the 2nd best golfer in the world. And Brooks at this point is like the 20th best golfer in the world. I don't even know if that. So
he don't
really care. I do think Bryson is unbelievable, but he can't carry Brooksy on his back. So, but yeah, I'm excited for this, guys. We're going to move to some NBA real quickly here. So LeBron's back. He was gone for 2 games, and everyone thought he was like getting involved with the Diddy stuff. I heard Diddy. I heard PEDs. I heard he's getting traded. I heard he's going to buy the Lakers and then start trading players. I heard all sorts of stuff, and he was just gone for 2 days, and he's back. He's 2 games, and he's back. Guys, it's not that big a deal. They played the Timberwolves. They won. They did win that game. I actually have the wrong game on there. That's the first time that was the opener. They played the Timberwolves. They wasn't even the Timberwolves. They played Memphis. So they did play. They played Memphis, not the Timberwolves. They played Memphis. They won 116-110. And LeBron looked. Everyone said he looked like he gained 10 inches on his vertical. And shocking, guys. I don't know if y'all know this. When you get rest, your muscles actually perform better. So he just got some rest, and then he's able to jump higher than last time we saw him. Last time we saw him, he dropped a 40-point triple-double pretty much, but whatever. I don't know. But AD dropped 40, had 16 boards. It was a good game. It was a good bounce back game for the Lakers, beating a really good Grizzlies team. So how do you guys think he looked in his return overall?
I think he looked really good. So if people want to do that, then how come Joel Embiid ain't getting criticized at all for what he's doing right now? I mean, right? If people say LeBron's washed, well, Joel Embiid's washed. He's the one playing the more, and he's the one playing basketball no more. LeBron is 40 freaking years old. He turns 40 in literally in 2 weeks from now. I'm speaking 2 weeks from now, from right now. Just on December 17th. The 30th is coming up very soon, guys. He's 40 years old. It's not a big deal. Took a break from social media as well. Stephen A., stop it, bro. Quit doing that to LeBron. Same with Brian Windhorst, Wendy, stop. Jams, stop, bro. Y'all just making yourselves look dumb. This is LeBron James. He can take a break whenever he wants to take a break. LeBron's done it many times in the postseason. Nick, I don't know if you knew this, but LeBron took a break from social media, from watching TV, didn't watch any games at all in the postseason and year 20, because he wanted to focus on winning the chip.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you know what? It's LeBron James, and of course he's gonna get scrutinized for that. But Joel Embiid, by the way, has all these injuries going on. He's shut down. He doesn't feel like playing no more in the NBA. He hates his job basically. But you know what? He ain't getting criticized for that. So he looks great. He's fine. And yeah, so I ain't worried about LeBron at all.
Yeah. No, I'm not either. Jaden, I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think about all that?
I mean, if you look back to the days where, they had I call it dumb, when they had the dumb load management or whatever it was called rule, where the players couldn't, play that many games so that way they could save their bodies. I mean, LeBron when LeBron sat out 1 or 2 games because they did that to him, nobody was talking about it. So I don't know why, all of a sudden LeBron sits for 2 games.
It was 2 games, guys.
It was not that big deal.
It was 2 games, and then a bunch of the media and everyone's like, there's reportings that we have no idea when LeBron's going to be. And I think a little bit of that is JJ Redick, the way he answered that question. And he probably just didn't know, but the way he answered it and his demeanor made it kind of seem like, oh, like LeBron could be gone for 2 months. Right. And then some random UFC fighter says he was at the Diddy party. So I was just like, I don't even know what was going on. We're not even monetized yet, so we're not going to get demonetized for saying Diddy parties. So we're good for now. But yeah, it's just crazy to me how different LeBron is treated from everybody, right? And it's just different. He's the most scrutinized player ever. Ricky Pearsall's got shot in the chest a couple months ago. He's played 2 more games than Joel Embiid's played this year. Nobody cares. But LeBron misses 2 games, and now he's Diddy's best friend. So it's ridiculous. Or he went to Germany. He went to Germany and got PEDs. Like, it's just crazy. It's wild.
Here's the deal. Until I find a situation about Diddy, I don't want to hear that stuff. I know right now Hollywood's going downhill big time. I think this might be the end of Hollywood overall. But dude, come on, man. He ain't part of no Diddy party. All because of one clip you saw on Instagram Live. Like, dude, as far as I'm concerned, on Club Shakespeare's podcast on Shannon Sharps, there was 2 parties. So,
yeah, it's just crazy to me that after one dunk, guys, we saw him dunk like that. The way people were talking on my Twitter feed made it seem like this dude's head hit the rim. Like, oh, he's BD Braun is back. Guys, it was a normal dunk. I've seen him do that 100 times this season. And then he got a chase down block. Oh, guess what? The greatest chase down blocker in the history of chase down blocks got a chase down block. He must be on PEDs. It's ridiculous.
And he was rested.
It's absurd. And he was rested. He got time off, guys. He got time off just naturally from the NBA Cups, the way the NBA Cup, kind of moved teams around, and missing 2 games.
Yeah.
Something's going on in his personal life, but he came back, he played well. He looked good. He didn't do too much. They still ran through AD. He had 8 assists, 18 points, 8 rebounds, didn't do too much, 2 blocks of steal. Just kind of went with the game, 3 of 6 from 3, didn't force anything, and they won. They beat a good team.
Yeah, I agree. John Moran, they're only 5th in the West, right?
Yeah, they're 18-9. They're very, very good team.
Yeah, but you know what? It's all because of LeBron James. He's the most scrutinized athlete. Him and Tom Brady in the history of sports.
He makes Tom Brady's scrutiny look like a fun time for everybody. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Since he was 18 years old, coming out of high school.
Oh, by the way, the Grizzlies are 2nd in the West.
Oh,
2nd.
Yeah, but you know what? Oh, it's a bad team though, right?
I don't know. It's ridiculous to me. I do still think that the Lakers have some serious issues. Hopefully Rob Pelinka wakes up from his nap, but I don't know if that's happening. So yeah, I don't think that's happening, but we're going to move on here. We're going to stay in the basketball world, a little different topics here. But Caitlin Clark, she won the Time Sports Person of the Year, the first WNBA player to win it. I thought it was very deserved. She has single-handedly made the WNBA popular again. So I guess what does this mean for the sport? What does this mean for women's sports in general? What does this mean for the WNBA specifically?
I'm gonna go ahead and start. I think that Caitlin Clark is the Magic Johnson of the WNBA. She's saving the WNBA. I mean, the ratings were low. We hear part of that. I mean, yeah, I like AJ Wilson a lot too, but so they still needed that one piece of. And I think her playing in Iowa helped it a lot big time because she broke Pistol Pete's record for both men's and women's scoring in NCAA basketball history.
Mm-hmm.
I know when it's all said and done, I think Serena Williams is probably the most popular woman star out there in sports. In my opinion, she's top 5 for me and GOATs. Dominant wise, Serena Williams is, but I think the impact is as good as Serena Williams. I think it's up there with Serena Williams overall, and sports overall. And Caitlin Clark deserved it. She really did. I mean, people were playing. Now people are flying on private jets. Before that, people were flying for American Airlines and Delta. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like they were.
It's true. It's true. It
They
is
were,
true.
dude. I'm being for real.
It
And
is true.
a professional basketball player is flying from American Airlines, Southwest. I mean, like for real. I'm being for real by this. This is a fact. They were
Mhm.
flying on private jets.
Yeah.
On top of that, she's got a big deal from Nike. I looked at her jersey sales. I want to look at this jersey sales real quick. Caitlin Clark jersey sales are absurd. I looked at this recently. I can't find it on my end. Someone find it.
What do you want?
Oh, I put jersey sales. Jersey sales.
So, so not only was there an increase by 500%, but so since the start of the regular season, the sales of WNBA merchandise are up 500% over the same period last year. And yeah, Caitlin Clark had the best-selling jersey.
Yeah, you see, there you go. She is the most impactful player probably in the history of women's basketball. Not no disrespect to Diana Taurasi or Sue Bird or those girls, or even Lisa Leslie, but Caitlin Clark, man, she's on top of that. She can back it up with her game too.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah.
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 No, I mean, she definitely deserved this. I mean, she put the WNBA back on the map. I mean, if you want my personal opinion, I never really ever paid attention to the WNBA. But you know, she kind of put. I mean, now I pay attention to the WNBA a little bit. Um,
I watched all her games last year. I literally
yeah.
did. Indiana
So,
Fever.
I think it's really good for, you know, for her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good for her. It's good for the WNBA. It's good for women's sports. She's the face of the WNBA. I do agree with that Magic Johnson. Just kind of the Magic Johnson comparison, because when Magic Johnson came in, he kind of helped save the NBA, and I think Larry Bird did as well. But
Yeah.
she's doing the same thing, right? And she's going to be really good. She's already really good. The amount of records she has held already is for a rookie ridiculous. But yeah, really, really good for her and good for the sport. So we are going to move on here to a little bit of a we're going to talk about the Heisman Award here. So the Heisman was awarded, I believe, last Friday. And I think it was last Friday or last Saturday. I don't remember which one. But Travis Hunter won the Heisman Award.
Oh man.
I think we all said this is what was going to happen, but we all thought that Ashton Genty should win it. But I guess the only question really to ask was, do you guys legitimately think there was like a Genty snub here? It kind of felt more of like a popularity contest to me rather than a.
Yeah. It was a freaking snub. Here's the deal. I like primetime Deion Sanders. That team is really good. I like how they were 93 this past season in the Big 12. But Ashton Genty was snubbed. He was snubbed. Ashton Genty saved the Boise State Broncos. Last year they didn't even make it to the playoffs. I don't think they made the playoffs ever before Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty had an impact on this team, guys. This guy, I think Barry Sanders, in my opinion, overall was the best running back of all time. As eye test wise, the electricity he had. This guy was like Barry Sanders' son, basically. He's 132 yards away from breaking that record. And if he wants the chip this year, with the record overall, then Travis Hunter was and Ashton Jitty was snubbed big time. I agree. This was a popularity contest because if he wasn't playing for Colorado, there's no way he would have won the Heisman.
There's absolutely no way. I agree with that.
He can play with Alabama with Nick Saban. He can play next year with Bill Belichick. He can play in Texas with Archie Manning and Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Florida State University, and he still would have not won the Heisman. He played last season before that season against Jackson State. He didn't play good at all in Jackson State at all. He didn't play good at all. He didn't really play good at all in Jackson State before Colorado. But you know what, Travis, congrats to you. I think you're not the best receiver overall in your draft. I think you're the best corner in your draft, but not the receiver wise. I think Jeremiah Smith is better than you. The kid from Alabama, the 17-year-old kid,
Brian Williams.
He's better than you too in receiving wise. Cornerback for sure. You're a two-way player. Respect that a lot from you. But as far as you being the best receiver in the draft coming up, you're not.
Jaden, what do you think? You think it was a snub or what?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, we all thought that he should have won.
Mm-hmm.
We all talked about it.
We all had GMT. Yeah.
And I think I'm sure there's other people other than us. And you know, I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just because he was on Colorado. I don't know. I just think Ashton Genty should have earned it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he had the better season. His team's in the playoffs. They get a bye in the playoffs. They have an actual 2 ranked wins. The Colorado Buffaloes don't have a ranked win. They didn't even make their conference championship game. That's bad. That's just bad. But I think it was a popularity contest. But yeah. So moving on to some other different topics around the sports world. So Dana White has pretty much confirmed that the John Jones-Tom Aspinall fight will be happening. We've heard Tom on some interviews say that it was the negotiations were quickly happening. We've heard Dana White say the negotiations were happening. So how big of a fight would this be for this generation of the UFC?
I think it'll probably be either the greatest one or second greatest of all time. I think Khabib and Conor McGregor was up there for sure because they're a bad blood between those two as well. Even John Jones and Damian Cormier. But I think this will be up there as well. I think this will be up there big time. I think Dana White is the greatest promoter in the history of sports. This guy built his company from ground up. And this, you know what you should do? You should take over boxing as well because boxing fell off big time. It's fallen off big time. Because if Dana White was running boxing right now, he probably would have had Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez going on right now in the next fight. He probably would have had that happen already. But I think this will be probably the greatest heavyweight fight in the history of UFC.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Jaden?
I think it's pretty huge for, the UFC's history, I think this game or this match will be talked about, in the future.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge one. It's one that everybody's been wanting to see and something that, sorry, saw something funny. I think that, this is something that everybody's been wanting to see. So, I really hope this actually pulls through and that we actually see this fight.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope John doesn't chicken out at the last minute. I really hope he doesn't. This is what the heavyweight division needs desperately right now. The heavyweight division in the UFC is kind of for the first time in a while, kind of the weakest division. I guess maybe you can argue a couple other divisions would be weaker, but this is absolutely the fight the division needs. Now that, after Francis Ngannou left, it kind of the division kind of fell off, right? But I think the way it should play out is that John Jones versus Tom Aspinall should happen. And I think the winner of that should fight Alex Pereira, and not because he's better than both of them. He deserves to be, because he's the lightweight guy, right? You have to settle the heavyweight champ. You have to settle who the heavyweight champ is, and then let them fight. Go fight Alex, right? I think that's how it needs to happen, and it would save the division. I think it would. They could make a card around this. They could make a pay-per-view around this. So elite, with so many great fights. I believe I've heard a lot of different rumors. I've heard some people say that it's going to be targeted to try to be around July, June, that time. I would love it. I'm here for it. You guys know how I feel about this. You guys know how I feel about John Jones. You guys know how I feel about Tom Aspinall. So I would love to see this fight, and I really hope that it happens. I really, really hope it happens. So time for some fun, right? So we since there's not a lot going on in the sports world, we were trying to figure out some other topics to help to flesh this episode out a little bit. So I have a question. Me and Trey have debated this for a while.
For 3 years.
For about 3 years now. And it's such an important topic that on our podcast sheet here, Jaden has the font. It's 300 points, bolded, italicized, underlined, and in red. So it's obviously a very, very important topic. So the question is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson natural? Okay. And when I say that, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, if you're natural, that means you have never taken steroids before. So you work out and you let your body build the amount of muscle that it can naturally build without the help of androgynous steroid use. So the question is, The Rock natty? Okay. And I guess I'll let Trey start because just go ahead, bro.
Yes, The Rock is natural, guys. The Rock is natural. The hate around The Rock is crazy. He said it from himself. He's natural. He says he's never taking steroids. He said went on Joe Rogan's podcast this past last year. So he's natural. Come on, guys. The Rock is not on steroids. He looks a lot slimmer than he did. Like he looks a lot slimmer. It's just great. He's a Hawaiian, dude. Look at his dad. His dad was natural too. It's just great genetic. He's just a Hawaiian. He's from Hawaii, so yeah, he's natural, guys. And he's natural, guys. And you know what? I mean, if you look at all pictures of him from the past, this past year in WrestleMania 41, look natural to me. I didn't see anything different. I didn't see any slippage. So yeah.
Jaden, do you want to go before me, or do you want me to go?
The Rock is not natural. Here's the thing. Is at some point in time, when you get older, you lose some things, in your body that help produce, your muscle and keep your muscle, help grow your muscle, all those things. The Rock's 52 years old. And he still looks like, he's 20. Well, that's a stretch, but
I have never seen a 20-year-old look like The Rock. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hey, there's one that me and Jay know that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. My personal opinion, The Rock is not natural. He can say all he wants. He can say what he wants for the media. I don't see any way how he is. I mean, how he can look like that at his age. So, Nick, I'll let you unleash the beast.
Okay. All right. The beast is, yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. So we're going to just break it down from top to bottom. Okay. So Trey's main argument for that The Rock is natural. I obviously think he's not natural. So Trey thinks that is a 52-year-old man. 52, by the way. He thinks every 52-year-old with good genetics can look like that. Okay.
It could be from Adobe.
It's not Photoshop. He looks like that, but I'm going to break it down. So Trey says, well, The Rock says he's natural. Okay. Breaking news. Celebrities lie all the time, literally all the time. Celebrities, politicians, your nephew, your uncle, your aunt, your dog, everybody lies. We all lie. We've all lied before. Okay. So
My dog can speak.
Well, you tell me that your dog speaks all the time. So yes. So here's the thing. Jaden alluded to it. When men develop something called testosterone. Now, women do the same, but it's not as much, right? Men produce testosterone. That is the most unnatural man ever. But men produce testosterone, right? That's what helps us build muscles. It gives us a deep voice. It's all that things. The natural decline of a man is what happens when, kind of late 30s, 40s, you start losing your testosterone. Not natty, by the way. You start losing your testosterone. That means it's harder to build muscle. You can't be as big as you once were. You can't be as lean, all these things, right? Okay, so I want you guys to, those of you who have made it this far in the episode or who skipped to the part where we're talking about is The Rock natural because of the timestamps, I want you to go on your phone, type in The Rock in his 30s, okay? When he first started in the WWE. You look at those pictures, okay? You see a guy, he's not very lean. He's obviously has muscle. He's not very lean. He's big. He's not the biggest guy you've ever seen. He's got a lot of body fat. You're like, oh, okay. That just looks like a normal wrestler. Then type in The Rock now at the age of 52. He's bigger. He's more muscular. He's more vascular. He's leaner. He's more cut. He's able to pack on more muscle while leaving all the fat off. That's the clear and cut sign of steroid usage. Now, by me saying this guy has done steroids, I am not taking away the amount of work you put in, because breaking news, if you take steroids, you still have to go to the gym and lift weights. But he is a fake natty. He's not a real natty, guys. Trey is the only person on the planet of Earth who's over the age of 10 I have ever heard say that The Rock is natural. And we just have to talk about it because I'm so sick of this, because every other week this guy says, okay, so breaking news, that guy is 6'8", and no, he's not that tall. He's really tall. And he's also, when that picture was taken, probably in his 20s and 30s, and he's been drug tested before, right? So The Rock here has gotten bigger and leaner as he got older. That's the sign. That's the opposite of what typically happens. At best, you can get leaner because you can lose more fat, but you're not going to put on more muscle when you're older, guys, because your testosterone decreases. But there's this funny thing called HRT. It's hormone replacement therapy, or TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, where you can put more testosterone in your body so you can still have lots of muscles when you're in your 50s. That's what The Rock's on. He's also on gear. He's also probably on some other stuff. This guy is the most unnatural fake natty ever. And for some reason, Trey thinks he's natural. I don't know why. He obviously has great genetics, but great genetics don't reverse your biology as a human being. No one's genetics can reverse the biology of a human being. Nobody's. That guy is not natural. Can we just stop? It's over. Let it go. Go to someone else, bro. It's over.
Okay.
There's no way he's on a crazy diet either. Like, to keep him that
The
slim.
Rock?
Yeah.
He says he is.
He also says he's not.
His diet is he at some point he's eating 6,000 calories and he's gaining no weight because he's shooting up stuff to help him to work out as hard as possible 7 days a week, which is called gear. Okay. This dude is not natty.
Dwayne Johnson, if you listen to this.
He's not.
Do a drug test. Wait, do you ever listen to this one day? drug test yourself, bro.
He will never drug test himself, bro.
Just do it for me. Just prove
that's like you telling Diddy, "Hey, let me see your phone, bro." He's not going to give you his phone.
Hey, I mean, right now he's.
And The Rock's not going to do a drug test. Never. He's not natty, guys. I can't believe that we have to even talk about this. But my buddy Trey over here has no idea how the human body works. So we're gonna work through it. We're gonna work through it with him. We're gonna work through it with him.
Guys. I like messing around with Nick. I know it's not natural.
Oh, now he's doing this.
Just around with Nick. I just want to see his reaction at the time.
See,
one person though is arguably natural is Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, no one that's a celebrity that's ever gotten buffed for a movie is natural. Okay, just let it go. But
so is
with the last 3 years, guys, he said The Rock is natty. But now that he has to say it in public, he's saying he's not natty. It's the classic Trey. All right, we're done. He's not natty. We can do more natty or nots. Drop in the comments. We'll do some natty or nots at the end of episodes, okay? Just to spice things up. But our last question is a Christmas themed one, and we're not doing 5 because I can't even think of 3. So we're gonna start at 1 and go from there. But we won't be doing an episode next week because obviously next Tuesday's Christmas Eve. We're all going to be with our families and things like that, and we hope you guys enjoy your Christmas season. So in preparation for Christmas, we're going to do our favorite Christmas movie, okay? Mm-hmm. Our favorite Christmas movie. We're going to start with 1, and we'll work our way through. But I don't even think I can get to 3, so we're probably just going to do 1. But Trey, your all-time favorite Christmas movie?
Man, I have 2. That's a tie. It's a tie for me. I like Elf because of the story behind it, and then I like how Will Ferrell. But by the way, Kim Amarillo last year when me and Jay were in Virginia for me getting proposed, and
you getting proposed.
Yeah, I was like, we miss Will Ferrell, guys. So yeah, I like Elf. It's a funny movie too. It's a good story, but it's a sad story as well. Number 2, the first, and then Home Alone with the original character. After that, the movie sucks. Whoever got the other kid might be the worst. It should be fired from, and they should never direct a TV ever again. So, the tie to Home Alone, because I like when the kid leaves his home. It's all this hectic stuff he does with his house and having the posters and acts like someone's there at home. And then second one because he was in New York and he lived by himself, and the way he lied to about a hotel. He had a movie on that acts like he was shooting somebody, and then because of the
what are you talking about?
Bro, you're just yapping right now.
So I don't want to say no more. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't.
So Home Alone and Elf are tied for you, is what you're saying?
You got the first 2 Home Alones. After that.
All right. So Home Alone and Elf, he's got tied for 1. Jaden, how about you?
Oh.
Also because of one guy too.
Okay.
Oh my word. Well, I was gonna say one of those, but let me see if I can think of something different. Kind of.
Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph.
Dude, that movie was.
Dang. Do you have yours, Nick?
Yeah. I think I really like Elf. I like Home Alone. Those are both classics. Elf is probably up there. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit though. Okay, I'm gonna do something different. Okay, I'm gonna do. A lot of people forget that this is a Christmas movie, but it's one of the best ever. Okay, Die Hard. It's just you've never seen Die Hard, Trey?
No.
What are you doing? You watch like every tournament Tiger Woods has ever played in, but you won't watch Die Hard? Okay, so go watch Die Hard. It's a great movie. It's fantastic, starring Bruce Willis. It's a classic. It's an action movie, but it's based around Christmas. So I'm going to say Die Hard because I don't want to copy, or I don't want to say the same one as Trey. So
also like the Friday after next Friday.
Mm-hmm. The Friday after next Friday. I've never. Yeah, that's not real. But
With
I
Ice
like.
Cube.
I like.
With Ice Cube, bro. When
I like the Polar Express is really good too.
yeah,
Polar Express is a
good
classic
one.
as well. So, Jaden, you got yours?
Yeah.
All right.
This one's kind of a hidden one. Not many people know about it. Y'all might. I don't know. This movie is called A Christmas Story. It is about a kid who, for Christmas, the only thing he asked for is a BB gun, specifically a Red Ryder BB gun. Everybody tells him that he's going to shoot his eye out
Okay.
because, it's a BB gun, so they're. Anyways, and he ends up getting the BB gun for Christmas. He goes outside and plays with it, and he loads it up, shoots the first one. It ricochets off 50 million things, and then it hits him, and he wears glasses, but it hit him in his glasses.
What is the name of this movie?
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen it either. Maybe I did when I was younger, but
It's an older movie.
Okay.
They just recently came out with the second one.
Okay, solid. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think those are pretty solid picks there.
What's the worst Christmas movie you ever seen?
The worst Christmas movie I've ever seen? That stupid one that I just watched was really bad. It was with, who was in it? It was about a neighborhood that was doing a Christmas light pageant thing, and then the main character and his family got signed a contract with like the evil version of Santa. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I think so. Who was that?
That's wild.
Man, I don't know. I forgot who was in it. It was one of those guys that's in all those Christmas movies that does a lot of Christmas movies, but I forgot.
That helps.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
I know one for me. I watched it yesterday with The Rock, and it was the worst movie ever.
Oh, Red One?
That movie sucked. That movie was so. I watched that movie, and I'm like, man, what am I watching?
You don't like Red One, bro? What's going on, bro?
I like the first
never seen it.
one on Netflix, and with him and that one guy, what's his name? The one actor, and they were in jail. Man, I forgot the Red Notice. I think it was called Red Notice.
I don't think that was a Christmas movie, but
no, Red One though.
Yeah, Red One, yeah.
Similar to that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
Good. And then that one, and I think the Santa Claus. I think the most boring one too was probably the Rudolph one back in the 50s. That one was boring.
Wow.
I almost fell asleep. I'm like, man,
classic.
That one and Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation.
Dude, guys, we need more sports stuff happening, bro. This is horrible.
Christmas Vacation sucked.
Dude, guys, we need college football playoffs bad. So we will be back the 31st, hopefully. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about then. Thank God. We're going to talk about Christmas stories, or Christmas movies, and if The Rock is natural. So be on the lookout for that.
Natty, guys, Natty, say with me, The Rock.
He's not natty. He's not natty. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, we will be gone next week. We'll be back the 31st. Hopefully, if not, we'll figure out a day sometime after the new year to come back. But we appreciate all the support. We appreciate everything. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Follow on all the socials, and keep watching, keep commenting. It helps the algorithm. Even if you want to debate me about stuff I say, drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. I appreciate the talking with people in there, even if they're saying my takes are bad, because it's fine, right? So it's totally fine. It helps the algorithm. So we really appreciate it, guys. And yes, we will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic Christmas season, and don't watch Red One. So
and don't watch
Comment your favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, comment favorite Christmas movie and if The Rock is natural. So, yeah, awesome. All right, guys, we appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, and we will see you later.